Hi everyone, Lovely Ruth here with another video. Hi, I hope everybody's doing well today. I'm just sitting here today, just thinking, just been doing a lot of thinking and a lot of, you know, meditating on what's going on in my life and the people around me. Um, and my word today is you have to be who you are and use the strength that you have to make it through the day, make it through your circumstances. God is with us, and that's basically all we need is God and the idea that He's right there. He's in our corner. Other people really don't make or break you. You have to use your strength to, because it's gonna be people that put you down. It's gonna be people um that criticize you or that lie on you or act like you've never done nothing for them in a lifetime. And I'm speaking of family. Most of this conversation is about my family. I came to the conclusion, I came to the realization that I pushed too hard to get somewhere with my family. I pushed too hard to have a family in which I I kind of chip away at my own self. I tend to make myself smaller and make them bigger. And I understand. I understand we're getting old in this family, and it's like, things, our memories are distorted now because what we really remember is the bad, not the good, and then we kind of like live and breathe off that, like we're some kind of leeches or something. We can't let go of our past. Well, some people in my family can't let go of my past, of their past, right? So they got this history of doing it on their own, not trusting them. I ain't asking nobody to do nothing for me. I ain't never asked nobody to take me nowhere. I ain't never asked nobody to do nothing for me. And so it's like, really now, dude? No, no. That's not the way it is. That's your distorted memory of how, somebody somewhere rejected you in this family and you take it out on everybody else that comes and tries to help you. So I have family members like that. They live in the past and they caught up in the way they ever known to do things, and I guess that's understandable. But you, in your strength, you should have enough sense, or you should have enough um, worth about you to be able to step aside, step out of the way, just step aside because they're growing in another direction from you. And in that direction, you're not supposed to be, you're not them, so to speak. Everybody is individually made, we're differently made in all aspects. So we can't live our lives to please people when clearly we're one individual. I mean, it may make sense and may not make sense, but in the same breath, I'm trying to say I get up every day to make myself available to be a blessing to somebody. Now, it's something that rises up in me that tells me to, okay, reach out to this person, check on this person and make sure they don't need anything, or if they do, try to get to in a position to help them, or try to, reach out. And I do. And like this morning, I really don't need anything. So in my mind, I was like, I need some water. And I need to go by the store. I'm gonna run by the store. I need some water, some little bitty things that I always forget to get. So when I think about them, I write them down and I make plans to go get those things. But it's one brother that I have, I always call him when I go to the store. I always call to see if he needs something from the store. Do you need to go to the store? And lately he's been like, nah, I'm good. Nah, I got this. Then he'll come in on the family, just clashing. I mean, he has so much hatred in his heart for everybody in this family. He doesn't love anyone in this family. He doesn't love people at all. I mean, he's just got a bitter heart, and I feel so bad. And it was nothing I done. It was nothing anybody done to him. It's just that he's bitter. He's one of those type of people that I guess you could say lived a rough life because he chose a rough life. He it wasn't none of our doing that made him unravel or hateful or, you know, dismayed or anything else. It's just that he chose to be isolated from the family. And ever since my mom passed, he's just like, no, nobody wants to do this for me. Nobody really, these people this, these people that. Like, I understand that. I sent that message out the last time I was on here about sometimes we have family, but they're not. They're by blood. It's by association of blood, and that don't mean we're family. That don't mean we go out for each other. That don't mean that we stay up at night worrying about them. That don't mean it's some people in this family that you could even if it wasn't a resemblance in our features, you couldn't tell we were kin to each other because we're like opposite. We're like way totally different. Our personalities, everything is there's no homing in on one thing. Like our parents. Like our parents were the glue of our family. They were the one thing that was keeping us together on neutral grounds, on holidays, on you know times when we pass each other, visiting our parents and stuff like that. I think they were the glue. But as a lot of people got lost when my parents passed away. It's a lot of people we went our separate ways, but your individual family, your children per se, they're still with you, they stick by you or whatever. Your sisters and your brothers kind of have their own mind and have their own lives. I understand that too. I do understand that too. But the bitterness, I feel so bad because I even me, I'm learning how to renew my mind and kind of move forward and leave the past behind and kind of forgive and move on from it and forgive myself and to actually, say, we was raised this way. We was led to believe these things, our religion and everything else. However, some of those things some of those things helped us through life, and some of those things are hindering us from life because you have to grow. You're not meant to be stagnant in your old way of living or your old way of life or under that umbrella where I was safe when my parents was alive. Your parents are no longer here. You're on your own. You got to stand on your own 2 feet. You got to be the niceness that the person, I want to say, the person that's within you that is, you know, it's a nice person sitting inside of everybody. Everybody, it's some type of goodness within all of us. We can put it away. We can stick it way, 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 way back there, but it's some good in all of us. And I think my brother, some of my family members, not just my brother, some of my family members tend to cling on to that hatred and that misfortune that resentment that they have that the world gave them, and they're clinging on to it like it's part of their you know makeup. It's part of their skin. It's part of their clothing. It's part of their lifestyle, and they don't want to change. It's hard to get somebody older who's stuck in their ways to change. I'm one of them. It took me a while for me to um look in the mirror, so to speak. I was telling my daughter, me and my daughter always have these conversations, and I was telling her, I told her this before. that sometimes you have to look outside of yourself, and that's not easy to do. Sometimes it's going to take a recording. Sometimes it's going to take a voice recording to hear your tone when you talk to people, or your reaction when you talk to someone or interact with someone with a problem or something going on in the office. And it's how you react. It's how you you respond. Like, are you bitter? Do the bitterness respond, or the good in you respond? You won't know. And if people constantly telling you, oh, you gotta, you so timid, or you so or mean, or you so this and you so that, and you be like, nah, that's not me, you got me mixed up. That's not me. And recorded myself one time. It's so funny. I recorded myself one time, voice recorded myself one time in the office, and how I respond to people, or how people, talk to me or whatever. And I realized that I am some of those things, because I didn't know. Because, in your mind, you think you're perfect. You think you're right. You think you're doing the right thing. You're saying the right thing. You're reacting the right way. But sometimes when you hear your pitch, listen to your voice. When you hear your high pitch, or how much strength coming out of your words, and your voice is shaky, or full of air, or you hear that in you when you record yourself. You hear that, and you be like, that don't even sound like me. That's not how I meant that to come out. Or is that really how I am? And you start questioning yourself, because you start saying, I got to take a closer look at how I respond to people, and how I act toward people. That's my defense mechanism. And I'm like, do I have a defense mechanism on all the time when I'm around people, when I think people are taking advantage of me, when they simply trying to be nice or whatever? I had to look at myself in the mirror, not per se look. Well, you can do that too. Look in the mirror and look at you, but you won't see nothing but your features. You won't see nothing but your eyes, and the way your composure, and that you can see that. When you look into your eyes, you may even be able to see your soul. I don't know. I don't pretend to know that. You do have to take a good look in the mirror and learn how to love yourself. Learn how to love what you have, or what's on you, or the size of you, or whatever. You have to look in the mirror for that. But to look in the mirror inside you, the inner part of you, that's where it gets complicated. So you have to, like, really figure out a way to sit down and question yourself, and ask yourself, what am I doing? How do people see me? We go around saying it doesn't matter what they think of, what people think of me, or it doesn't matter. I don't care about if they talk about me or whatever. You shouldn't. You shouldn't. You should be concerned. You should care about what you think of yourself. You should think about, how do I carry myself? Do I want to reflect this person that I'm portraying? Am I me? Is this genuinely me? You know what I'm saying? How do the world see me? Not physically, but how do the world see me, inner the inner me, the 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 real me. You know what I'm saying? So the soft me, I can't be hardcore and mean and to certain people, and then lay it on easy for other people. I'm so nice to this. Well, you nice to this. I know people like that though. I know people that will turn on the faucets, or turn on the charm when somebody walk into the room, but with you, they're like the devil themselves. So I know that I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that person that is one way with what some people, and another way with others. And I know we're in this world where we tend to put on faces and put on different hats and stuff. But we don't have to do that. I always say that I don't want to be two-faced. I don't want to be I don't want to wear all different types of hats per day, per hour, dealing with different people. Be who you are. Be genuinely who you are. Don't change it. Don't fluctuate. Don't, just be who you are to everybody. So everybody would know, and everybody would look at you. Oh, that's Ruth. She genuinely this. She's a kind-hearted person, or she's a mean-spirited person. If I'm gonna be mean and evil or whatever and do all this stuff, do it all the time. Don't just stop where you get home and did be a like have your family think you God sent and this and then at home you will, I mean at work you the devil himself. So don't be like that. Just be genuinely who you are. Stay who you are at all times. Be that person. Be who God made you to be. Be that person. You know what I'm saying? Um and life gets tough. People arouse you into who you're not. They trigger you. And you have to have a base about you where nothing moves you. I mean, it moves you, but you won't crack, or you won't bend, or you won't break. It's like, metaphorically, I was shopping. I was looking rather. I wasn't really shopping. I was looking for a lamp, right? I said I need a. I Googled on Amazon. I need a floor base lamp. Went to Walmart. I need a for typed in search floor based lamp. So Amazon gave me all these little lamps that they have a base, but they're tall lamps in the living room lamps. I said that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a small lamp that you put in the corner that highlights the wall. And I'm like, how do I describe that base? So the base is actually the thing that holds you in place, right? It holds the lamp in place, regardless of what kind of lamp you have. It holds the setting of the lamp in place. So when I was looking for a lamp, it made me realize, oh, floor based means it's gonna stand on the floor. It's not gonna move until you move it. You move it. In other words, if the lamp tip over, the base is gonna fall over. So your base has got to be sturdy. So that's with us too. I think the base of you have to be firm and planted. So nobody can trigger you. Nobody can knock you over with their antics or with their tricks and games. You know what I'm saying? You have to be strong at your base. And I think our base should be planted in the Lord, really, honestly. But your base has to have some type of it's got to be firm, it's got to be planted, it's got to be, unmovable unless you're ready to move it. You know what I'm saying? Like that lamp, you're ready to move it. But I was looking for one of those little, and then I finally realized that it was a base. It was called a floor accent light. Like you could put it on. It's a little bitty fan light, but it's a light that it'll highlight your whole wall, and that's what I was looking for. But by me putting googling that what I said, that's what it gave me. So you can't be all over the place. Metaphorically, you got to be planted. You got to be one way. You got to be grounded, and you can't let people sway you to the left, sway you to the right. The strong oak, the big oak tree can be the wind could blow all it want to, but it's a strong based planted rooted tree. And that's how we have to be, because we cannot let everything break us. We cannot let everything move us. We can't. uh, I learned this week that I'm not supposed to fix my family. I'm not supposed to fix them. I can't make them who I want them to be. I can't make them like me. I can't make them love me. I can't make them do anything. I can have a conversation with them. I can try to give of myself, but I get more back. What I get more back is trash. What I get more back is unstableness, mental anguish, fright, um, uncertainty. It's like it chips away at you. If you let people chip away at you daily, what are you going to be left with? What are you going to be left with? That's why you have to have that base. You have to be strong and you have to stand firm, and you gotta, not saying that you cannot see where that person is coming from. It used to be a lady at work, and I know if somebody that I worked with see this video, they're gonna know who I'm talking about. It used to be this lady at work. She hates me. She hated the ground I walked on. When Ruth came into the when I came into the room, it was like it's like I sucked the air out of her life. Like when I went in that room, when I went to sit at my desk or whatever, it was like, what am I gonna do? She's here. What am I gonna do? What I mean, and then she immediately start tearing into me. She'll immediately start criticizing, or she'll immediately try to turn the whole room or the whole atmosphere on me. It's like, nobody else she would bother. It was like I got to go attack her. And for a long time, I couldn't understand. We different. We different in so many ways. But this woman went after me all the time. She would criticize me. She would try to get me in trouble. I stayed in HR behind her. It's like every little thing. I'm not the type of person to go in the office and talk about my personal life. Still to this day, nobody even know if I am married, single, have a boyfriend, have a girlfriend, have anything. They don't know about my personal life. Do know about my children because I, you know, had my children. I mean, I thought the world of my children, pictures on the desk. They don't let us do that anymore. Photos on my screen of my kids. I love my kids. If anybody call, if I call anybody, my children interacting with my kids. So pretty much everybody knew, I had some children to raise and whatever, but they didn't know about my personal life. So I don't purposely tell people about my personal life because they would throw it back in your face. And one time she tried to say, "That's why you don't have a man right now because you this and you that." And I'm like, "Oh, wait a minute now. I never talk about nobody's husband. I never talk about nobody's girlfriend. I never bring up anybody's personal life into that office, even though you're constantly hearing it. You constantly hearing about the husband or what you have to do or this and this and complaints and all this other stuff. I know everybody in your family, from your mom to your stepchild. I know because you're constantly bringing that to the office. But I never use stuff like that against people. And it was so many times that people tried to chokehold you by the information that you gave them. And it's on you, because you have to learn how to be, silent, but, talkative, but silent. You know what I'm saying? So, this person really for years because I worked with her for years. Not, I mean, in the same room, not doing the same thing, but in the same atmosphere. And she tried to make my life a living hell. We never got along. And up until this last year, when I was getting ready to leave, up until these last couple months, I was getting ready to leave, it was a lot of people speaking on her like that. Like she told such and such to do such and such. Well, she thinks she's privileged and she thinks she can do these things. And I've never heard anybody, well, I have, but not in this um this level of talking about how she is. And so I'm like, you mean to tell me that all this time, all these years, me and her not getting along, and we clashing, and people like, oh, that's just such and such, just get. And I'm like, am I the only one feeling her wrath? But I wasn't the only one feeling her wrath. But if I would have gave into that, if I would have gave into her a long time ago, I would have been a wuss. I would have been not me. I'm not. I wouldn't have had that base. I wouldn't have had that stability about me where um you can't move me because you're having a bad day with your husband, or you're down to your last $400-500 in the bank, and that disturbs you, and you want to come and attack people around you that have to work with you. Sisters have And I'm gonna tell y'all this is we have had $5 in our pocket books, and we were happy. We were okay with that because we knew this $5 or this $1 that we had, we start the week off because we did made sure our kids had everything, made sure they had their lunches, made sure they're gonna have food when they get home. We have $1 or $5, say for instance, to work with for a week. We okay. We still go. We still good because we're gonna take that $5. We're gonna bring us some noodles or a sandwich to work. We're gonna buy a soda and we're gonna split it. I mean, some kind of way it works. Some kind of way with me, you know, God worked it out for me. I don't know. I can't say about him, but we didn't want to go commit suicide, is what I'm saying. We didn't want to go commit suicide because we were down to our last $5 to make it to Wednesday or the next Wednesday or whatever we got paid. We wasn't all up crawling on the wall about it because we knew how to survive. We knew how, hey, you know what? I have some money. I can't say I'm broke. I have some money. I gotta make the best. I have to think about how I could stretch this $5 and how I could still be happy. I can't let my joy flow out of me or take it out on anybody else because I have just $5. $5 is not the end of the world for me. A dollar isn't the end of the world for me because I have already made provision to make it. You know what I'm saying? I already know God's gonna multiply that $5. I couldn't eat out every day, go to lunch with everybody every day, because I know that I had 2 mouths to feed, and so I did what I could. And guess what? God did what He had to do, and I survived that. So, but I know that some people, and I'm not characterizing anybody, but I know that some people don't believe that, you know, even though they have another source, they have a husband that's bringing in money too. It's like my whole life crashes because I got, $200-300 in the bank. I gotta have more than that because my means of living is, I'm broke. I'm broke. I guess that's the way you could look at it, but don't take it out on nobody because $300-400 at that time, that was like, that was a good time. That was a good time for me and my kids to go somewhere and do something and have some fun, and have the real good meals and the real good balling at the restaurants and stuff like that. But I never took money for granted. I knew the value of it. I knew what it was. I knew when I didn't have it, God gonna provide a way for me to have things that I still need. I didn't bring that to work. I didn't take it out on anybody. My clothes was always clean. I always had something new to wear. I didn't have to repeat clothes like I'm repeating clothes right now. And I did not have to. I mean, I'm really not repeating clothes, but I wore this before. I guess you guys saw this before. But this is one of my favorite shirts. I have so many clothes. I have so many things that I don't, it gets to the point where, what is it that you need? Really, what is it that you need? And that's my mentality in life. Do you need this or do you want these things? So my mentality is back to her. I don't understand why you're so miserable. I don't know what's going on in your life that you're so miserable that you have to get up, put your makeup on, put your dress on, your flip flops or whatever you wore to work, and you come to work, you riding to work, and you thinking about how I'm gonna make her life miserable today. How am I gonna mess up somebody else's life today? Because my husband fussed at me about leaving the rake out, or you know, stupid stuff. Like I can't even imagine what that woman was going through. I know she had good health because she came to work every day. I know she had a husband because she talked about him constantly. I know she had this big beautiful house because she talked about the things in it and talked about the size and where it was and the lawnmower she rides on to cut the yard and all this. I know she had these things. I know she was making more money than me. I know these things, but I didn't think about her on my way to work. I didn't take her home with me thinking about her. She was nothing to me because she did not provide anything that I needed in my life. But I have to take that back. She did provide one thing. She did provide one thing. When you have people like that, that working diligently to make your life a living hell. One thing they do give you, one thing she did give me was a lesson. She gave me a lesson. Even though she didn't know she was giving me a lesson, she made my base strong. She made me strong. She made me feel like um that I have to really know this stuff, this prejudice, this stuff is out there. It was a lesson. It was a lesson in it. Like it was a lesson. It was a lesson. So I even though it was like living through hell trying to deal with her, and then we ended up like she sat directly behind me and was like, "Oh my God!" I said, "God, I know you are not gonna punish me like this year." When we got back from, being out with, with the plague and everything, when we went back to work, it was like she was sitting directly behind me, like directly. And so I said, "You know what? I'm gonna handle this in a different way this time. I'm not gonna even respond to her antics. I'm not a wuss. That's not me. My strength is, defending myself. And like, I don't, I'm letting you get away with these comments and these little, oh, she's talking to herself. She talked to herself. They always over there talking to, answering her own questions. And I say I do answer my own question because I'm reading my email. If I read my email aloud to myself, or if I sing a melody down quiet to myself at my own desk, minding my own business, it shouldn't irritate her because I don't even think she hear. I think you gotta put on two, four sets of ears to hear my conversation with myself or read my email. You know how when you typing an email back to somebody, you reading it like what you want to say to that person. That's pretty much what I do. And I'll hum a tune because my headphones is on. I'm always in there minding my own business. But when you come under attack, like, people give me compliments all the time. That's cute, or shoes are beautiful, or something like that. That I like your person. People complimenting me all the time. She never had one comment about what I had on, how I looked. It was always something negative coming out of her mouth, and I knew what that was. So I got my lesson out of that. I got my lesson out of that. It just made me stronger. It made me stronger. You know what I'm saying? So always look at the bad part that's coming after you. Look at it as a lesson. It's like a diamond in coal. The coal have to, be chipped away in order for that diamond to come out. So yeah, yeah. But I don't know how I got to that. I was talking about my brother, and I metaphorically visioned my family as a basket full of nuts, right? You got all different kinds, shapes, whatever, colors, flavors, some dented, some cracked. It's like they're in this basket, right? I'm in there too. So it's like, um, somebody shake up the nuts, some fall down, some fall over to the side, some good ones come out, some, roll out the basket, some stay in the basket, and they're not growing because they're all on each other trying to literally, not just my family, people at work, literally trying to fall over each other, but they're not growing. They're not growing. So the ones that do fall out, the ones that do look in that mirror, the ones that do see themselves or find themselves, fall out that basket, and they tend to grow into this mighty oak tree. Like they really grow because they were hindered at first, and they were like in this basket and they were hindered, and then when they finally fall out, and or they finally discover themselves, or they finally take that leap of faith, I'm gonna jump out of this basket or whatever, metaphorically speaking, and then they start growing, and the other ones might fall out or get out or whatever, and they grow in another direction. You're growing in this direction, and it's okay to grow in this direction. It's okay to be you, who you are individually. It's okay to be lovable and vulnerable. It's okay to be, but not to the point where you're stupid and you're like not, you don't know how gullible you are. No, you have to have a base. You have to be strong. You have to be aware of you, who you are. That's like looking into the mirror, but looking into you, in your inner self. Um, And then you'll find out who you are and how strong you are and the lessons you look back. And I look back at, those 24 years of working, um and half of those years, the hell that I went through with people, and not even the job itself, the work itself is good. It's just some of the people. And then there are some people that made your day. It's some people that you got up and you wanted to just go see. You want to help these people, these customers that depend on you to get them truckloads of water, or their groceries, their sale items, add items to them in a timely manner. And it's like I strived to make other people's lives better, but the stuff that I endured in between getting my job done in the end, by the end of the day, all the stuff that I had to endure was there to make me strong, not there to change me, because can nobody change me. You can't let people harden your heart and make you bitter. And it was going there. I saw it. I saw it. I saw myself being that till I looked in that mirror. Saw myself being that angry black woman. I saw myself being that in defense all the time, in defense of I know somebody's gonna attack me or say the wrong thing or try to make me feel bad or trying to make me feel lesser than what I am and stuff. And all I am here to do is my job. I just wanna work. I just want to work. If I can't influence your life in nowhere, if anything on me or anything that I represent or anything that I do does not help you in any way, if it disturbs you, if it makes you sick to look at me, that's your problem. You know what I'm saying? I hope when people see me, regardless of how they see me or what they see me with or what I have on, or I hope they get something out of it. I hope it's like now. I hope that people that's looking at me and they're saying, "Oh, I hope I don't slump like that when I talk," or I hope that I like her skin. Let me find out what she uses, or take something positive from me and make it yours, or make it or enhance yours, or make yours better. Like my hair, I mean, it's stringy. It's just it's the way I wore it today. And somebody might say, okay, let me have my hair conditioned, because I don't want frizz, or I don't want, take something from me, something, and make it positive for you, and that's what we should strive for. We should be um and representation to help somebody, even though we're not helping anybody. I know that woman had so much resentment for me. I couldn't figure it out. And for years, I've been trying to figure it out. And I think that's one of the lessons. Why are you sitting up trying to figure out what's wrong with her? God said, I'll take care of her. You just do what I tell you to do. I'll take care of her. And it was like so many times she tried to break me. She tried to trigger me. She tried to bring out something that wasn't really there. I could pretend, because I'm not a cursor. I used to try to I cursed a couple of times and people laughed at me like, what's going on? You ain't even saying that word right. You know what I'm saying? And so I can't give you what you're looking for as far as being hurtful towards somebody. I can't give you that. I'm just not that person. I can't give you that. But I can give you love. I can give you silence, peaceful. I think once when you silence somebody out, I think that's more hurtful than anything, because they don't know what's in your mind. They don't know how you're feeling. They don't know what you're thinking. You're not telling them what you're thinking because you're not responding to them. They're beneath you. In other words, going. They don't have enough power to move you, to make you respond to them, because that's what they want. They want you to respond to them, and the devil is always trying to get you to respond, to those people he walk around in. And it's like, see, God, I told you she ain't perfect, she ain't perfect, and nobody's perfect, and ain't nobody's perfect, but you gotta think like, what's why is this person trying to trigger me? And that's not just work people, that's people in your family, especially in your family, because they think they know you. They think they think that they know you enough, and I mean, you've been through a lot with your brothers and sisters. I was called so many names. I was crybaby. I was big brain because they thought that I thought I was smarter than everybody. Uh, I was called, you know, mama's girl, daddy's girl, spoiled. Your family really kind of like, they kind of like almost mold you when you go out into the world. Like, you have all these things that your brothers and sisters say. So when somebody say something nice to you or friendly to you, you be like, "Oh, that's my best friend. Oh, I need this person." But you really don't, because your brothers and sisters are made to make you tough as nails. They were put here to make you tough as nails. But as you get older, you can't be in a thing forever. Forever. Relationships don't last forever. Everything has to come to an end. So your way of thinking has to come to an end. The way you grew up. You're not 5 years old anymore. You're not 8. You're not 10. When you did those things back then, that was for those things back then. That was for that time. Now you're a whole new individual. I did not know, and this is gonna sound crazy, that your body rejuvenates itself every year. I think it is. I have to Google that. So your skin is changing, constantly changing. Your body is constantly changing. It's renewing itself all the time. If I'm saying that right, I think I researched. I was looking at something, and it was saying, like, that's your body. Your immune system is made to heal or scar or a cut or a wound in its own way, in its own time. So if you get a scar, like, 2 years ago, I'm gonna say going on 2 years ago, I cut myself on a wine flute I had and broke, and I put it in a plastic trash bag. When I went to take the trash out, it immediately stabbed me, and then when I felt it and I pulled the trash away from it, it just went up my leg and cut me. And I said, "Oh, that hurt. That hurt. Ouch. That stings." And I went to walk down the sidewalk to take the trash. I had to stop because blood was all on the sidewalk and stuff. I tell this story out. Well, it was almost Mother's Day. I think it was a year or so ago, 2 years ago. And I cut myself so bad. And I went in the house. I said, "Ooh," blood was like everywhere. And so I said, it must have hit something, or vein or something, something it hit. I said, I need to stop this blood, because blood was everywhere, everywhere. I went in the restroom to get um, some tissue or something to put on it, and it soaked the tissue. Everything that I put on was soaked, and I got a towel, soaked it. So I called my nurse niece. She's a nurse practitioner, and I told her, I said, "I'm bleeding. Look, it won't stop," and the blood kept coming out. She said, "Go." She said, "Do you have?" She said, I said, she said, "You need one of those big bandage, but right now, those big wide bandage so it could cover it." She said, "But right now, you gotta stop the blood. You gotta make a blood clot. You gotta make a clot." And she said, "Keep the rag tied up with something. Keep the blood in so it can clot." And I said, "Okay, I could do that." And somebody had brought me some band-aids, white band-aids, because I couldn't get in the car, because every time I stepped on the leg, blood just everywhere, right? So I know that's horrible. That's horrible. But I had to get stitches, and it took me 2 days to realize I'm still bleeding. No matter if it's scab, if I wash or get in the tub or move it or take the band-aid off of it, it'll start back bleeding. And so that happened on, I think, a Friday, and then it wasn't until Monday or Tuesday that I went in to the emergency clinic and got stitches. And they put the stitches on, but they put um the little strips on it. And so I went home and I said, "Okay, this will work." And then I waited, and I took a bath, tried not to get it all wet and stuff. And I got a tub. I said, "Okay, it's all right, it's all right." But it was this little piece of white thing that was inside of it's like it was coming out of my leg. So I pulled it. I said, "Oh, this hurts so bad." I pulled it, and it was actually the stitch that was underneath the meat that grew over it. It was gross. So I had to go back. It started back bleeding out, and I had to go back to the clinic. And the guy said, "Well, the person that stitched it stitched it in the wrong direction. So he stripped it and he said just give it a couple of days and it worked. It closed up the skin because it was like a L shaped cut. Like it went in deep and it came up. So it was gross. But the point of I said I'll let to say this. The point of it all is I I healed. I eventually healed. And it was such an ugly scar and it was such a scab that I thought it was gonna like never ever gonna heal, which it did heal. It did leave a mark. I mean, we got our war battle marks on our skin, but our skin is our flesh is it heals because our brain tell our blood to go down there and heal this part of our body. And it's amazing, the anatomy of a body. It's it's amazing. So we heal, we can if our bodies can heal from wounds, our hearts shouldn't have to be hardened by what somebody else is lashing out saying about us or trying to do to us. And our minds, when they used to say, and they still say this, our minds is a terrible thing to waste. Do not waste it, and do not let anybody else invade it and get you all mixed up like some scrambled eggs in there. You got to be based. You have to be based. You know what I'm saying? Put your put your base down and let it stay there so that all these other things that's coming against you, like I cut myself, I wasn't expecting it. I didn't want to do it. I didn't try to inflict pain on myself. That was something that happen, and accidents happen, and you learn even from your accidents. You learn from them. Like you don't make the same mistakes to get cut again. You know what I'm saying? And I'm goofy. I will fall. I will cut myself. I won't even realize I cut myself. Sometimes I'll cut myself and don't even realize it, and wait for it to heal and say, "Oh, this is never gonna heal," but it heals. It heals, and time will heal all wounds. So time will heal our wounds, mental, physically, whatever. It will. So don't let anyone make you who you are not. Don't let anyone put on that costume for you. Like I'm the one of the mean girls, so I have to be. You want to be around me? You want to go to lunch with me? You want to hang in this clique that I have laughing every day? You got to be this person. I'm gonna need you to do this. No, no, I never was in cliques. I never was. I'm a team player. I'm a team player. We working together. We working on a project. I'm in all the way. I'm in. But as far as your lifestyle, you want me to be like you? I can't be nobody else but who I am. I can't be nobody. I can't be my daughter. I can't be my sister. I can't be my best friend. I can't be Beyonce. I love me some Beyonce. I love me some um who's that other person that I love? I love me some them, but I can't be them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be them. I can't sing like Beyonce. Her who she is who she is. Now I can uh like something about her, or like if she's very good at her charities or something that's good about her. I can admire that, and I can try to be a strive toward, in my life I want to contribute to a good charity or something like that. But no, I'm not Beyonce. I'm not Oprah. I'm not these celebrities who are put in front of us again, yet again, to learn lessons and not to transform or conform to being something you're not. You are who you are. You're an individual. I mean, you gotta take me as I am. You gotta know who I am, get to know who I am. If you don't like that, you have a choice. Like, oh, she too short, or she whatever negative or positive vibe you get from me, you gotta take it with a grain of salt. That's what you get. I can't change for for you. I can't even change you. I could just change myself. And I like myself. I like myself. I do. I'm beginning to enjoy myself and like who I am because that makes me feel good. That makes me feel good. And it was years, it was times that I felt out of place. I felt awkward. I felt like, I'm not enough, or, uh, ooh, my hair is, I'm having a bad hair day and it's gonna affect my day, or, what I have on, I'm not comfortable in what I have on, and I'm trying to impress people. All that stuff is over with. It's like, why did I even run that race? Why did I even allow myself to think that if I impress others, then I'm gonna get farther. Or if I impress others, they can become like me, or I could become like them. No, no. You have to go out into this world. You gotta put on your best that you think, your best effort, your best whatever you bring, and go out there and you impress you. You do the world, but you do it with you. You know what I'm saying? You go out there and you say, hey, I'm not like the person that's sitting next to me. I'm not like her. I'm not her. I don't endure her life. I don't, you know, our pocketbooks don't entwine. We different people. We're individuals. You know what I'm saying? So I have to go out there and do what I need to do, not what you're doing today. Let me do what you're doing today. No. So you gotta be careful of that, especially looking at TV all the time and you want to be this person, you want to have this person kind of lifestyle, and you want to have this house or this Birkin bag or this name brand whatever car, Tesla or whatever. You that might not be for you. You might get one and it may nobody never notice it, or it may suck the last dime out of your pocketbook and nobody even notice it. You know what I'm saying? I like a Birkin. I like well, I think I'm saying the name right. I like those purses, Louis Vuitton. I would love one, but at the expense of what? It's a handbag. I'm sorry, it's a handbag. A designer does not make you. It doesn't make you. The designer is actually upping their image, not necessarily worried about how you look in it, because I'm gonna make another bag next year and it's gonna even be awesome. Yeah, it's gonna be better, and you're gonna be been and bought a purse, a $15,000 purse, that if you take it in Kroger's, or if you take it to um a family restaurant, ain't nobody gonna notice you that bag. Like, it's pretty, but I don't know the name brand. You know what I'm saying? So it's all in how you make your appearance. But what's inside of you have to be coming out. What's inside of you have to shine more so than what how somebody made you feel. And then now you walking around with a stank attitude. No. No, girl. No, 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 no. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. So to all the people who try to break me in my life, I thank you. All the people that criticize me and put me down, or push me aside, or try to keep me down and not let my shine, not let me shine and let me do what I do best. I thank y'all, because guess what? I still came out. I still rose. You know what I'm saying? I'm still a good person. You never changed that about me. You never could get the knife in that far to make me to persuade me that I'm not who I am, or I am a better person or bigger person. So you didn't you didn't accomplish that job to destroy me. In other words, you made me stronger. So yay! Props to the people that tried to make your life harder, but they couldn't succeed. So God is good all the time. All the time. God is good. So yay. I just gotta say that. I wanted to get on here and say that. And check on you guys, see how you guys was doing today. And I hope you're having a good day. I have some things I need to do, but I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna just relax. Uh-huh, uh-huh. Oh, I watched some good movies this weekend, and they weren't all Netflix. They were not. I mean, I'm a Netflix girl. I don't care what nobody say. If there's a good movie on there, I'm gonna watch it. But it hadn't really been any really good movies. But every once in a while, they throw a movie on there, and you just, yeah, you in. But I was watching. I watched The Woman King. Oh man, very good movie. Very good movie. I'm not gonna even spoil it for y'all. The best movie since I saw it a long time. The one of the best. Should I say that? I watched that this weekend and it was powerful. I mean, it moved me. It really did. I like it. I like it. Um, Viola Davis. Yep, yep. Strong and powerful. And I watched The Beast, which is good. Very, very good. Uh, and then some more movies that I watched this weekend that was very good. Sometimes you have to get in a corner somewhere and leave the world behind for a second and get out into it's like getting out watching a movie is like getting out into your imagination. You know how you used to have imaginary friends or you have imaginations when you're a kid. Well, God wants us to have an imagination, and think good things, of course. But when you throw yourself into a movie and you're in that movie, right, and you see these things happening, and the world around you is still happening, but for that moment, for the hour and a half, for that 2 hours that you spend watching this movie, this powerful movie, and you're getting something out of it, you're getting a lesson or something out of it. But it's just the idea of you know you're out, you're in your imagination at that time, and when you come back it's like that just happened. That was a pretty good movie, and I enjoy a real good movie. I really do. Yesterday, and I'm not gonna keep you. Yesterday I watched Psycho with my daughter. I think she never really saw it, and I've seen it 1,000 times. But when you see it at the right time, you get the gist of it all over again. You get it. And it was. I told her it was scary. I told her, even though it was back in the day, you get the gist. You get it. It's creepy. I say, put your mind in the people that went to see this back in '64, whenever it came out or 85, whenever that movie came out. Think about the movie that the people that went into the theaters and saw this movie. It left you with an eerie, creepy feeling like, wow, that happened. You know, the minds of some people you can never know. You would never know. You know what I'm saying? So he had to really clean up his mess. He killed a couple girls and he had to clean up his mess, but the woman he killed in the shower, he actually had to clean up. He after he cleaned up her mess and dumped it into the lake, right? He had to clean up her residue, like her family coming to look for him, people coming to look for him, and I guess he looked for her, and I guess he didn't see that coming, so he had to, commit a murder after murder, and finally, it's like it all said and done. It's a eerie, scary movie. That's a good Halloween movie for y'all, so y'all could watch that. That was pretty terrorizing in itself, but yeah, enjoy a movie every once in a while. Just take the time and just let it go, breathe in. The world it wasn't nice today or something, but I did get a good movie out of, put yourself in that place. Put yourself in enjoying a animated movie. You know, I was watching Trolls and I watched Minions and I watched all kinds of different kinds of movies this weekend. Like I was really into the movies. I was like, forget it, everything else can wait for a second. Let me enjoy a movie. And I did that. So yeah, it'll put you in a good mood. It'll put you in a real good mood. Like, you know, not worried about that other stuff. You're enjoying this movie, right? Um, but yeah, yeah. Except scary, bloody slashers. I won't watch. I don't want to watch that. It's just I don't want to still be in that imagination when I'm, sleep. So good, getting ready for bed. I don't want to hear bumps in the night. I don't want that in my head. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that in my cranium. I just don't want that. So I'll try to watch positive movies, comedy movies, action movies, love stories, drama sometimes, and and then enjoy it. That's my sister, and that's my youngest sister, and I have to go. And it's so good to talk to you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. I love you guys. And I will talk to you in the later one. Bye.